The Vatican has officially entered the chat regarding the U.S. Israel conflict with Iran, and they aren't exactly offering a blessing. Pope Leo, the first American to hold the keys to St. Peter's, is currently using his social media account to remind world leaders that God isn't actually a fan of Operation Epic Fury. And I know what you're thinking. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that God doesn't like just senseless murder? God doesn't like it when innocent people die. God doesn't like it when anybody dies. Who would have thought? I don't know. I don't know. But just in case anybody needed a reminder, the Pope decided to just put that message out. Like, hey, by the way, I hear a lot of people bringing my guy into this. And that's capital G, my guy. Okay, so I don't know where the disconnect is, but he doesn't really sponsor this shit that y'all are pushing. He's not really on board with the things y'all are doing. He gave you guys free will, but that doesn't mean that he wants to will this into existence. It's just something that unfortunately happened. In a sharp rebuke of the current administration's rhetoric, Leo declared that God does not bless any conflict, effectively trying to pull the rug out from under the divine backing narrative being promoted in Washington. The tension stems from a growing trend of scriptural justification for the war. While Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been framing the military strikes in Iran as a holy mission carried out in the name of Jesus Christ, the Pope is countered by pointing out that the Prince of Peace generally doesn't favor dropping bombs on civilian infrastructure. And it's a shocker to say the least. It's changed the foundation of my belief system because I mean, if there was a God, I thought that he would be on board with all of this shit. I thought he would be completely on board with bombing children and elderly and women and honestly just innocent people. And we always put all of these characteristics around people to try to make them worse. It's like the sick and the people in the hospital. It's like just bombing people. Like I would have thought that yeah, if God exists, there's 100% certainty that they're gonna be like, yeah, do that. That's the reason why I did this. The whole reason why I created you was so you could destroy it all. That's it. You figured out the game. You passed the test. It's like you having to stand up to the teacher, and that's how you get the A. Yes, good job. You win. That's how. That's how. That's how I set this up. And I don't know. I don't understand why this is not true. This is something that they're not on board with. Okay, so God is saying like, okay, don't just murder people. Don't just willy nilly bomb people just because you want to show a source of strength and power and all of that stuff. This divine disagreement reached a boiling point after President Trump's recent ultimatum, where he warned that a whole civilization will die tonight if Iran didn't comply with his demands. Pope Leo, apparently not a fan of apocalyptic deadlines, called the threat truly unacceptable and reminded everyone that international law still exists, even when you're convinced you have a mandate from heaven. Hey, you you're kind of like a false prophet right now, is what he's trying to say. He's kind of like he's kind of calling Trump fake as fuck and his whole entire administration. Like you're trying to what's it called? What's it called? Like appropriation. You're doing like some Christian or Catholic appropriation, man. Get your hands off of our religion. Get your hands off of our God. Get your hands off. What are you talking about? The fact that this is a real thing. The fact that people are actually they are actually I don't know, maybe they don't believe this, but they sure seem to believe the words that they say. They sure seem to believe that this is some sort of I don't know, higher power acting through Trump to demolish an entire civilization. And obviously, thank God, he did not go through with that. It had people that don't even really pay attention to politics paying attention like, hold on, what's happening? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Cause it just feels like we're getting slapped around all because y'all motherfuckers are doing a dick measuring contest. And now I'm wondering what I'm getting slapped around by. Cause that's how it feels. It feels like I'm getting fucked over. It feels like everybody's getting fucked over just because people want to play mine. It's mine. It's my resources. It's my stuff. I'm the big guy. And it's something that just continuously happens. It's like that's what people always think. It's just like that. We're just gonna always be at war. It's just like it feels like it's just an inevitability, like just a part of life. Like, you know what I mean? You take a breath, you see the sunshine, you see the moon at night, and there's gonna be war somewhere in the world constantly. I don't know. Maybe, maybe it's not one of those extremist things we always look at. People like suicide like bombers, people that put on the vest and they do it for the 72 virgins or whatever the fuck. We look at them like they're these, I don't know, maybe we, the royal we, whatever. I feel like they've been, it's like a stereotype where they're looked at as these extremists that have no rational thought. They're just like blowing themselves up, and they're just like, what? You're blowing yourselves up? And it's like, you really believe it, and this is all for your God, and you really think, you know what I mean? We look at them like, it's like, oh, you're not quite all there. And yet, what? You're gonna turn around and say the same thing? And, well, I'm not bombing myself, I'm bombing them. I'm just bombing children. I'm just bombing, hospitals and bridges and power, whatever the fuck. Like, I'm just bombing shit. I'm not bombing myself. That's stupid. My God wouldn't want that, dummy. My God wants me to live so I can enact more destruction. That's why we are here. I don't know. Maybe the Pope is onto something. Maybe. Like I said, you got people like the Pope. Actually, I don't even know. Is the Pope like political? Does the Pope be getting into politics like that? Does he put his 2 cents in? Is the Pope known for stuff like that? I know the church used to run a lot more, but when it comes to politics, especially now in the modern political landscape, does the Pope, is he known traditionally for being a part of that? Is this something that this new Pope does? It's because I'm an American? Is that why? I don't know. Maybe this Pope is just like that. Or maybe this is something where it's like, hey man, you're drawing the line. You're doing some crazy shit. And then you're saying it's in the name of God? You're saying like you were chosen? Bitch, you wasn't chosen for shit. And if I wasn't the Pope, I would tell you this in a lot more ratchet of a manner. But I'm the Pope now. You know what I'm saying? I gotta represent. We are now witnessing the bizarre spectacle of the American president and the American Pope fighting over who gets to speak for the Almighty in a war zone. And I'm just gonna say, if we're going to choose, I don't really care. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not Catholic. I'm not Christian. I'm not religious per se. So, I mean, I, I guess maybe I shouldn't have a vote. But if I were to, just, hear me out. My 2 cents for what it's worth. The American president versus the Pope. I'm going to give it to the Pope. The Pope probably should have a little bit more say. Now, if you said, hey, American politics, American laws and legislation and shit like that, who should have more say? I'd be like, hey, maybe the president should, even if it is somebody that we don't want to be in there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of a part of it. It's like, it is what it is. There's always trade-offs. That every president's going to do shit you don't like and do shit you do like. It's just kind of is what it is. But why would the Pope have anything to do with it? That's how this nigga, the Pope, is feeling. Say, hey, bro, I don't tell you how to do your job. You coming over here talking about God this and God that. Keep my God's name out your motherfucking mouth. That's all I gotta say. We'll be good. We'll be good. We'll be good if you can do that. If you can do that. We are now witnessing the bizarre spectacle of the American president and the American Pope fighting over who gets to speak for the Almighty in a war zone. Who can say the president? Who can just sit there and be like, yes, this Jesus sent you? Fuck the like. If you were this person, like I feel like these people are so on a team that they're like, fuck the Pope, fuck him. My guy is sent by Jesus. The Pope, nope, nope. I don't care. Fuck the Pope. Nope to the Pope. I don't know. It's a no for the Pope for me. I'm gonna say we're gonna get it. This is our country now. I can't. I don't know. I can't even articulate how chosen I feel like our president is. I mean, it makes me want to. I wish I was smart enough to be one of those doctors that could like diagnose or examine somebody's brain after they died, because somebody needs to like on some science experiment type shit like figure out what makes these people run. And it turns out it actually is the same thing that makes all of us run. Some of us are even worse, but some people are so attached to their ideas and being on a team and like that tribal thinking that they really will justify anything. They really will find a way to feel righteous in any act of terror. It's it's something that everybody I think is capable of. Like if we feel justified. It's like I could never even think about like just doing something that would murder all these innocent people and all of that. It's like, but at the same time, it's like I feel like a lot of, especially like parents or really just like men, fathers, husbands. It's like let somebody come in and try to hurt me and mine though. Let somebody try to come in and hurt my family. It's like now I'm feeling a little bit different about murder. I'm feeling a little bit different about how far I'm willing to take it when it comes to hurting you. It's like we all have something inside of us that can make us justify terrible things if they're under the right circumstances. It just gets scary when people use religion. It gets scary when people they just try to put God next to everything they do in order to feel like it's the right thing. While the administration paints a picture of a reborn nation fueled by divine providence, the Vatican is busy reminding us that blood drenched hands don't make for very effective prayers. That's a fucking bar. Blood drenched hands don't make for very effective prayers. That's that's some bars. He that's that's good. I don't know. That's like one of those mic drop moments where it's like, ooh, shit. Pray to your God now, bitch. Ooh, ooh.